going on? Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drive. Today we have a very fun video today. I've wanted to make this video in a really long time, and that is actually going to be judging every owner's prize car that we've had since the beginning. Now, the first ever owner's prize car we had was for the 787B rerun, where we got the Nissan Juke R, and I want to talk about the 787B. If you look at the prize pool over here at the cars, the 787B isn't here because I am dumb. Instead of saving the image for the 787B, I did it for the Lancia LC2 twice because they're both 95 RQ LMP cars. So please forgive me for that, but the thing is, I realized it too late. If I went to get a 787B picture right now, I would have to reset and make an entire new tier list, and I would have to reorganize every single car to be in order, because when you put all the pictures into freaking tier maker, they get all jumbled up and disorganized, and I want to put, you know, the prize car next to their owner's prize car. So to save me some time, just imagine that this LC2 next to the Juke R is, ooh, a 787B. But today's video might be pretty long, so let's get right into it. You guys know how it's gonna go. This is gonna be my personal opinion, and I'm gonna let you know how I'm gonna judge it. I'm gonna judge each owner's prize car on how useful they have been since they've been released, and also this isn't a big factor taking into the judging, but it is a factor nonetheless, and that is going to be the RQ difference. Now, I say that this isn't a big big factor because the biggest RQ difference is actually 15 RQ from the prize car given out to the owner's prize car. But although that was the biggest RQ difference, that is actually one of the best owner's prize cars to ever release. So if you still don't know what I'm talking about, we'll get into the video, you'll definitely get it. Here's the ranking system. As always, we have Der Kaiser, Daily Driver, Frequent Provider, Pernicious Ulcer, and Hall Garbage. But as a bonus, whatever owner's prize car I'll put at the top, I'll also put the prize car for that said owner's prize car at the bottom, so you know. Like, we're judging owner's prize cars today, but because out of curiosity, and I think that you guys would be interested, because I'm definitely interested in this, I want to know what car came out with the owner's prize car that we're going to talk about. So let us begin with the TVR Sabera and the Volkswagen Golf R400. So once again, I'm not judging the prize cars, I'm only judging the owner's prize cars. The prize cars are here along to go with the ride, and also to show you that RQ difference. So the TVR Sabera, this picture is outdated from Top Drives Club. It's 89 RQ now, and the Volkswagen Golf R400 is 86. So that means that there's a difference of 3 RQ between these two cars. Now, straight off the bat, the Volkswagen Golf R400 is definitely hot garbage. For sure, it's hot garbage, right? We'll put the TVR underneath over here because they are a team. So it's a 3 RQ difference. Honestly, there hasn't been many events where the Volkswagen Golf R400 has been useful since the TVR was released. I think it came out early 2021, maybe a couple of hatchback events here and there, but the problem is when it comes to a hatchback event, the Golf R400 is still absolutely hot garbage because yeah, it has 3.50 to 60, okay, but it doesn't handle, and it has 59 MRA, so you're not going to use it. A lot of the hatchback events that we've had have been, you know, fast orientated, you know, things that require drags. That's why I always use like my Audi RS3, and that's why I hate it, because it always loses, because every time there's a hatchback event, it requires the car to be fast, and this car isn't fast. So unfortunately, in my opinion, and I absolutely hate Volkswagen with all of my heart, it's all garbage. Alright, next up is going to be the Chrysler ME412 and the Roof RT35. Where are we going to rank this? I'm going to put the Roof RT35 as a frequent provider. It's an average car to give out. Now, one thing about the RT35, now the RQ difference, alright, the Chrysler ME412 in the game now is RQ90. Once again, some of these pictures are outdated, and the RT35 is at 88, which gives a difference of 2 RQ for this release. The RT35 is a pretty good car. It's a Yellowbird killer, that's what it is, and it's a Yellowbird killer at 1 star, which is nice. It's not a legendary that you need to upgrade once just to beat an epic. That would be bad, but it will be a Yellowbird at 1 star, which is really good. That is amazing MRA. I think it's 98 MRA in the Roof RT35, high top speed, low 0 to 60, and pretty okay handling as well. It would be even better if it was 90 3.0, because then it would hit that 100 mark, so just slightly off the mark. But the Roof RT35 is a pretty decent legendary. The only thing about the Roof RT35 is that this really isn't a car that you've needed in the Tri-Series ever since the ME412 has been given out. So it doesn't have that bonus factor where it helped you. You see, there are some cars in here, for example, the Ford GT, that has bonus value because on top of being a fantastic car, it helped you in a Tri-Series, or it helped me me win another owner's challenge, you know what I mean? So some of these cars will have bonus factors that we'll talk about. Now, if I do forget any of these cars that had maybe a time to shine, because I didn't win all of these owner's prize cars, obviously. So if I do miss out on some of the, the owner's prize cars that might have been eligible in a final that came afterwards its release, let me know down in the comments below. But moving on now is the Nissan GTR and the Roof Turbo R Limited. Now, right now the GTR is 92 and the Roof R Turbo is 88, which gives a RQ difference of 4. I would say that it's a pernicious ulcer, to be honest, and I'll put the GTR below it. Now, honestly, 2016, there was one 2016 event that went on after the release of the GTR Nismo, and that was for the Continental Pikes Peak Bentley. So, and the funniest thing is the Roof wasn't even the best car to use for that event. I was using a lot of the Cadillac CT6 because it was a 4-wheel drive standard tire car, which was better for that one range track set. And then for the dry track sets, I don't want to use a 4-wheel drive car in the turbo anymore. I'd be using Hollywood. Well, I used Hollywood or the King Donk. So yes, it was eligible in a big, I guess, quote unquote big event for the Pikes Peak. But once again, it's the Bentley Pikes Peak. Like who the hell cares about that? Pernicious ulcer is not the worst car in the world. I mean, it has ridiculous MRA and a high top speed to back it up, but definitely isn't a great price car to release. I'll give it pernicious ulcer. Alright, next one is going to be the Viper GTSR paired up with the Roof CTR3. The GTSR is 91 and the Roof CTR3 is 88, giving it a RQ difference of 3 RQ. Now, the Viper, as much as I freaking love the car, I will be honest with you, this is a pretty interesting one to put. I would put it in the same rank as frequent provider with the RT35. Both these cars are very, very similar. One just handles a little better, still ridiculous top speed on the CTR3 and great MRA. So because of that, pretty average cars, I would say, but they haven't really been given a time to shine, because the 2007 finals, if I remember correctly, is that 2007? I can't even, yeah, that's 2007. I'm pretty sure that the 2007 finals happened after the rerun of the GTSR, which made it not useful. I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but there definitely has been the 2007 finals, but because of that, I will give it frequent provider. It is still an average legendary nonetheless. Alright, next up is going to be the Lamborghini Urus and the Macan Performante. The Urus is 96 RQ, and the Macan Performante is performance pack. Sorry, Performante. What am I, Italian? Is that what is the Macan? An Italian car? No. But the RQ difference between the Urus and the Macan Performance Pack is 7 RQ. It's a pretty big difference. That being said, though, I think it's the best one so far. I'm gonna give that daily driver, because straight off the bat, the Macan Performance Pack is the best German all-surface tire car non-prize in the game, and I kind of regret not getting it, because I had the Urus, I had the chance to get it, but I didn't want to upgrade my Jaguar Epics. In fact, I actually had enough Jaguar Epics. It's just that they weren't very good. They were all like RQ70, and I didn't want to spend 45 Ultras. Basically, the only thing separating me from this Macan was sacrificing 45 Ultra. So yes, a part of me slightly regrets that I didn't get the best German all-surface tire car in the game, but I can get it in the future, and I just didn't want to spend 45 Ultra Rares to get it. Did I say Epics? I meant 45 Ultra Rares to get it. I did not want to spend 45 Ultra Rares to get it. So unfortunately, I didn't get it, but it's a fantastic car to give out. I was actually really pleasantly surprised. I thought that for the Urus, they were going to give out the Cayenne, because the Cayenne actually is higher in RQ, but it's the worst car, because it's heavier and it handles less. But no, they went with the Macan Performance Pack, which was a really nice surprise for the Urus owners. So if you won the Urus and you won the Macan, congratulations to you. I didn't get it, but hopefully we'll get the Macan in the future, but I think it's a fantastic owner's prize card to give out. Next one is going to be the Chevrolet Z06 and the Porsche Macan Turbo, not the Performance Pack. The RQ difference here is 1, because the Z06 is at 85 and the Macan Turbo is at 84. This is actually a pretty good one as well. I would definitely give it... Ooh, is it too generous of me to give it daily driver? Because once again, the Macan Turbo is much like the Performance Pack, handles really well, right, for an all-surface tire car, and it's actually a lot cheaper to use. 5 RQ cheaper. Yeah, the 0 to 60 really isn't there, but when it comes to all-surface meta, you really want to hone in on that handling, and the Macan Turbo and the Performance Pack, they both have really good handling. I'm going to give it daily driver. Let me know if you disagree, but once again, it's my personal opinion, and I think that the Macan Turbo is actually a pretty good prize card to give out. Great handling for a low RQ legendary. Now, moving on is the Porsche Dakar and the 911 GT3 RS. Now, until today, this is the only one where you actually get a bonus RQ. Everything else, there's some zeros in here, like, split, like the owners and the prize card given out is the same RQ, but this is the only one where the owner's prize car was actually a higher RQ than the prize car that was given out. The 959 Dakar is 85 and the GT3 RS is at 88, so that's actually +3. And until today, I'm pretty sure that this is one of the best owner's prize cars to ever give out. Like, seriously, in terms of just the value that you're getting a car that is better in RQ, and the GT3 RS is a fantastic legendary. Not only is it a fantastic legendary, but since it was given out, it was eligible in Christmas collection, and it's now currently eligible in two-tone, which has released today when I'm recording this video. Absolutely insane. On top of that, low 0 to 60, high top speed. MRA is pretty bad in the car, to be fair. It's around 83, I believe, 83 to 85, or 83 to 88, something like that. But the handling is fantastic. It's a twisty car, also a bit of a hybrid car as well. Honestly, one of the best owner's prize cars ever given out. So if you want the 959 Dakar, once again, Wyatt, if you're watching, massive congratulations to you. That is definitely the only one you can definitely say, the only time where you got an RQ profit in your owner's prize car, and that goes to the GT3 RS and the 959 Dakar. Moving on now is the Quasar and the Project 8. Now this one is also pretty freaking good. Now this is a relatively new one. The Quasar was given out this year, so there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for me to use the Quasar besides Peugeot events and clubs. That being said, it's still a really good prize car to give out. I've said this so many times. The only good thing about me winning the Project 8 early was that I had the privilege to win the Peugeot Quasar. That's literally it. The Peugeot is a fantastic car, man. It's got 4-wheel drive, it's light, the MRA is decent, the 0 to 60 is incredibly low, and they both have the same RQ, so this one is actually going to be 0 because the Quasar is IQ 90 and the Project 8 is for some reason also 90, but honestly, the Project 8 should be 80 and there should be a difference of 10, but oh well. Now moving on is going to be the 918 Spider and the Pagani Huayra. Now the 918 is at 100 RQ and the Pagani Huayra is at 92, giving it a difference of 8. Now remember, when the 918 was given out, it was initially going to give, the owner's prize car was initially going to be the Lancia Beta Monte Carlo 87 RQ, which would have given the difference of 13. That would have been one of the worst. That genuinely would have been one of the worst. But now that they changed the Monte Carlo, Beta Monte Carlo, to the Pagani Huayra Roadster, I'm actually going to give it Dirk Kaiser, because the Pagani Huayra Roadster is the best roadster convertible fast car. If you get my drift, okay? When you think about the convertible meta in top drives, non-prize, the Bugatti Huayra is the best like fast hybrid one. And then you have the King Dong, which is the best twisty hybrid one. So these two cars, in my opinion, are kind of the king of the crop in their range. And the Pagani Huayra is fantastic. But on top of that, right? On top of the 100 MRA the Pagani provides, the low 0 to 60, the amazing handling, and the high top speed, it also won me the freaking Koenigsegg Huayra. Okay? Like this was the key car for the Koenigsegg Huayra. So because of that, it has provided me so much freaking value. It is definitely Der Kaiser. Moving on now is the 787B. Play with me, guys. It's a 787B and the Nissan Juke R. You know what? Hutch likes to make events where the Juke R is actually somewhat useful. That being said, when you can use a Juke R, you most likely can also use a Mitsubishi Evo. So because of that, I'm gonna move it down. And also, to only really get real value out of the Juke R, you need to max it out, or at least max the handling, at least to get it close to the freaking Evo. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, Corn, I know you love this car, I know you want this car, but unfortunately, Pernicious Ulcer is the best I can give it. Now both of these cars are Japanese as well, because 787B. Let's talk about things that make sense, right? You have the Project 8 and the Quasar, they're both 4-wheel drive. You have the 918 and the Huayra, they're both convertibles. You have the two Porsches, they're Porsches. You have the Urus and the Macan, they're both SUVs. You have the RT35 and the ME412 as a rear-wheel drive. There's always like a little bit of similarities between the two cars, but then you have the freaking Z06 and the Macan Turbo. What? Maybe because the RQ is very similar, and then the Golf and the TVR once again. What? Okay, but anyway, moving on now is the Mclaren P1 and the Mclaren 675 LT. Both of them are McLarens, there you go. And the RQ difference between these two cars is 95 to 93, which gives it a -2. By the way, RQ difference of the Juke R and the 787B is -6, because the Juke R is 89 RQ now, and then the 787B is 95, the same as the LC2, which is why I got them mixed up. But the McLaren P1 and the 675 LT. The 675 LT, decent. Absolutely decent. I would definitely give it daily driver. The only reason why why I'm not putting it in Der Kaiser is because I don't remember an event after the McLaren P1 was given out and the 675 LT was given out where the 675 was actually super useful in as well. It's 2015, I believe. Oh wait, that was 2015 final for the Lancia LC2. But I think the P1 came after the Lancia LC2 finals, so that didn't really help. So I'll give it daily driver. Forgive me if I'm wrong, because there's a lot of information that I have to memorize for this video. Trust me, like my brain is blowing up right now. Moving on, after the P1 is going to be the Sport and the McLaren 650S. As you can see, I'm doing this in order of alphabetical order of the owner's prize cars. The 650S GT3 and the Renault. Now I have to be honest. Once again, the McLaren 650S GT3 is one of the best. You know what? I'm even going to bring it up. I'm actually going to bring it up to Der Kaiser. I understand that the 650S GT3 hasn't gotten its chance to shine in, you know, another multiplayer event for another Tri-Series prize car or maybe an owner's challenge, but it's a 2016 car with 100 MRA, a relatively okay 0 to 60, fantastic handling, and I would say that the only RQ difference between these two cars, the RS01 and the McLaren 650S, is only a -1. So it's 91 to 92 now, because the RS01 is 92 now, pictures are old, to the McLaren's 91. So it's a very close difference. I think that was a very generous price overall. Like, giving out that 650S GT3 for the RS01 was a very, very generous price. And mainly because of that, I would give it Der Kaiser. But also, 650S, fantastic car to get. So congratulations to anyone that won the 650S GT3. Alright, moving on now is going to go to the SCG and the McLaren 600 LT Spider. The SCG is 96 RQ and the McLaren is 90, giving it an RQ difference of 6 RQ. So over here with the SCG, I'm gonna put it... Ooh, this one's tough, man. This one's actually tough. Am I going to put it as daily driver? Because you can't go wrong with a McLaren prize car. That's the thing. You seriously cannot go wrong with a McLaren prize car. When you get the McLaren prize car, you're basically guaranteed a low 0 to 60, great handling, high top speed of good MRA, right? So that's what McLarens are. So I'm going to definitely give it daily driver. Alright, moving on is going to be the biggest change that I said. This has an RQ difference of 15. The Pikes Peak is 98 RQ now, and the Lancia Delta HF Integrale is at 83 RQ. 15 RQ difference. You would think that that is bad, but I completely disagree. That is one of the best owner's prize cars to ever release. It's absolutely ridiculous that they gave that out. I wish I won the Pikes Peak on the first time, man. Seriously, this car is so freaking helpful. Since it's been released again as an owner's prize car, not again, but since it's been released as an owner's prize car, it's been useful in so many events because of what the car is. This four-wheel drive, off-road tires, great handling, decent MRA, lightweight, medium ground clearance car, off-road, right? Like, the Lancia Delta carries itself by being itself. And because of that, it is definitely one of the best owner's prize cars ever released. Definitely Der Kaiser, in my opinion. Congratulations if you won that. Alright, moving on is the actual Lancia LC2 and the Aventador Coupe. Now, the Aventador Coupe is going to be a pernicious ulcer, I would say. It hasn't really won me any events, Tri-Series, anything like that. The only time I actually use this Aventador Coupe is when there's a Style Icon event. That's it, because it's the best Style Icon car. And because of that reason, I'm not giving it hot garbage. But outside of that, I have better Lamborghinis to use. I never use the Aventador Coupe, so once again, I only get value out of it if it's a Style Icon event. Alright, RQ difference between these two, though, is actually not bad at all. It's only going to be 1, I believe. Where's my notes for this? Yep, -1, 95 to 94. Alright, moving on, we're going to have an RQ difference of 0. Is the Pagani Zonda 760 and the Koenigsegg CCXR Edition. Both of them are 91 RQ, and I would say they're definitely frequent providers. That's not the best Koenigsegg in the game. That's not the best Koenigsegg they've even given out. There are actually two better ones that we'll see in a bit. But, you know, 91 RQ for 91 RQ? Alright, it's fair. Average. Alright, moving on now is the McLaren Senna. Oh, sorry, no. I jumped too far down. The next one is the McLaren P1 GTR and the Acura R. So the McLaren P1 GTR and the Acura R, I'm definitely going to give it Der Kaiser as well, because the Acura R was the best car to use in silver screen. Blosseg, right? So definitely got you some value over there. It's the best Koenigsegg that has ever been given out as an owner's prize car, which is amazing. I know this car very well because I have it maxed out. Low 0 to 60, incredibly high top speed, great MRA, 97 MRA, and great handling as well. Fantastic prize car, so congratulations if you won that. The RQ difference between these two cars is only -3, which is really nice because when you compare it to the the what is it? The Aventador SVJ and the Koenigsegg Agera, which we're gonna get to next now. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna put these cars here. This isn't. I don't think this is the cars here, but look at the difference, right? If you won the P1 GTR, you would have gotten the Agera R. That gives you an RQ difference of only 3. But meanwhile, I won the SVJ and I got the Agera, and that gives me an RQ difference of 5. Why? Why? Just give me the other RQ93 Koenigsegg or something. Why do you have to do me dirty like that? But anyway, once again, the Koenigsegg's are kind of like McLarens. You can't really go wrong with them. I think it would make sense for you to put this here because, you know, you have the worst Koenigsegg. It's not been bad, but the worst Koenigsegg given out as an owner's price car is going to be on the lowest rank. You have the second highest one on Daily Driver, and then you have the best one on Toyota. I think that makes sense in my personal opinion. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, moving on is the AMG SLS GT3 and the Jaguar XJ220S. Now, some people might disagree with me on this, but I think that the XJ220S is one of the best prize cars, owner's prize cars to be given out. Bonkers MRA on this thing, okay? 110, something like that. Incredibly high 0 to 60, decent handling, all that for a 90s car that's relatively lightweight. I mean, I think that's fantastic, and you're getting massive value. You're getting basically what I like to call RQ95 MRA in an RQ85 car. So in my opinion, the Jaguar XJ220S TWR is fantastic. And if I do believe myself correctly, this would have been a car that could have helped me in the Urus Owners Challenge because it's a rear-wheel drive Jaguar. Forgive me if I'm wrong, because the requirements was either 2+ seaters Jaguar or rear-wheel drive Jaguar. And I think that the XJ's TWR, 220S TWR, also has 2 seaters anyway, so I think that was an eligible car. There has been multiple events where the TWR has actually been useful in. Anything Great Exhibition 90s as well, that's useful in. I would definitely give it to Kaiser for sure. You might disagree with me, but that's, you know, my opinion. Alright, moving on is the Caterham and the Gumpert Apollo Basic. This is going to be an RQ difference of 0. They're both 90. The Gumpert Apollo Basic, I would, you know, it's basic. It's average. I would give it frequent provider. The only time where the Apollo Basic has been super useful is, you know, the 2007 final was one of them. But the other one, and I think that, once again, this car was released after the 2007 final. Because 2007 final was a long time ago. We had a 2005 one recently, but 07 was a while ago. And the only other time the Apollo Basic was useful in was during the Ride of the Valkyries or Riders of the Storm, one or the other. And once again, this car wasn't given out for that time, so it wasn't able to be useful for you if you won this, because that event would have been over already. You know, Ride of the Valkyries or whatever, Riders of the Storm, whatever it was part of, might come back again. I think it was Ride of the Valkyries. It might come back again. It might be useful again. And then I'll bump it up. But for now, it's frequent provider in my opinion. Moving on is going to be the McLaren Senna and the Ford GT. RQ difference of 5, 96 to the Ford GT's 91. I would definitely give it to Kaiser. 100%, man. Like that, because of the Ford GT, 2 things to think about. First thing, super useful in the SVJ finals. So if you didn't win the SVJ already, that would have been saving your butt. It helped me a lot in my owner's challenge, which led me to another car, which was the Koenigsegg, which is really cool. But here's the other thing. The Ford GT is the best rear-wheel drive American legendary. It's the highest RQ. It's the best, I would say, all-rounder American legendary. The ACR might be more twisty, and what's the better drag one? I can only think of the Demon, but that's a prize, you know what I mean? So the Ford GT is fantastic. Amazing handling, high top speed, 98 MRA. I was definitely very surprised to see that as my owner's prize car for the Senna, but obviously I'm not complaining because it's fantastic. All right, moving on now is going to be the Gt1 Road Car and the Cadillac Ats V. Once again, man, I mean, hey, I'm making these owner's prize cars look good because they're gonna go down here as well. Why do okay, you know me, I rate the Cadillac Ats V incredibly high because it is the best non-prize American medium ground clearance car. Has a low 0 to 60, great handling, 480 RQ, mind you, and it is a saloon, and it's medium. It's 480 RQ. You're getting so much bargain. Honestly, the Ats V, in my opinion, is one of the best RQ80s in the entire game. No complaints. Definitely Dirk Kaiser, in my opinion. All right, moving on. Okay, here's the thing. I freaking hate the Bugatti Eb-110 Gt. I hate it with all my heart. If I ever unpacked it, I would sell it immediately. But can I give it hot garbage? I can't. I seriously can't. It has to be a frequent provider because guess what? If you won the ZR1 and you won the Eb-110 and you didn't sell it, I mean, it's very rare because most people probably would have sold it already because it's trash. If you didn't sell it, that was a key car for the Rimac. key car for the remake Nevera. I can't forget that. Like, that is just, it pains me to put it in frequent provider, but it has provided value. It has provided value. I mean, yes, to be fair, Hutch forced it to provide value, but it provided value nonetheless. So I'm going to give it frequent provider. Ah, that hurts, man. RQ difference between those two cars is a -3, by the way. And it's the same for the next one, 86 and 83. Is the Dodge Demon and the Acura Ats V. Hog garbage. Definitely hog garbage. I've won my Dodge Demon on the first time. And I'm gonna keep saying this now because they're giving the Demon out like crazy, like Zebra Yeezys. It's pissing me off, okay? But the Acura Ats V, man, I think that this car was in my garage and it's been stock for 2 years now, I'm pretty sure. Like, the Acura Ats V is hot garbage. Useless. The problem with cars like the Acura Ats V is that, yes, they're very light. Yes, they have a low 0 to 60, but to get any value out of them, you need to max the handling to beat the epic twisty cars. And maxing out the handling on a legendary is incredibly, monumentally harder than maxing out the handling on an epic. Most people don't do it, especially for a low RQ legendary like the Acura Ats V. So it's a horrendous investment, honestly. Hog garbage for sure. And last but not least is the Bugatti and the Acura Nsx, and I'm gonna put it in frequent provider. The Nsx is decent. You know, it was useful once again in the 2016 event, I would say, for the, you know, the Continental, which, you know, four-wheel drive. It's the best American four-wheel drive non-prize. That being said, though, it is still a pretty weak four-wheel drive car, all things considered. But I'm gonna give it as frequent provider. Now, I want to have a look at the top list. Is there anything I would move down? Porsche, Huayra, 650, no, I don't think so. I was thinking about moving one down just so, like, you know, it would be more organized, you know, like if I put a car here, wait, no, put a car here, put a car here, guess what, you know, the list looks good that way. But I don't think there's really any legendary prize car I moved down. Maybe you guys watching, there might be, what's the word, there might be some debate for maybe my choices on the Jaguar, but I think that the Jaguar definitely deserves to be an OG prize car. But hey, this is a pretty good list to see, isn't it? Most of the owner's prize cars that have been given out have actually been pretty good in my opinion, and the worst ones would be these two, the Volkswagen and the Acura Ats V. So I would say not bad, definitely not bad at all. So overall, this is out of the 25 owners that we've had, the total RQ is 2,307. Basically what I did was I took all the prize cars, so like, you know, the Dakar, 918, all their RQs, I added them together, and that's 2,307. Divide that by 25, and the average RQ of prize cars that we've gotten, rerun prize cars that we've gotten, is 92.28. Now I did the same thing for the owner's prize car, and for the owner's prize car, I guess rerun prize car, owner's prize car, right? So for the rerun prize car, for the owner's prize car, I added all of them together, their RQ. So I added, like, you know, the Pagani with the Delta, with the Agera, with the Jaguar, and it amounted to 2,217. Divide that by 25, and the average RQ of an owner's prize car given out of the 25 that we've seen here is 88.68. So that's an average decrease in RQ of 3.6, which isn't too bad. So basically, if you have a prize car and there's a rerun event going on, maybe this might be your first time being an owner's and you want to speculate what is the RQ of your owner's prize car, on average, the owner's prize car you're going to get is going to be negative 3.6 times lower, or it'll be 3.6 RQ less, if that makes sense. A lot of math, and I did this by myself. So forgive me if it's wrong. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Very interesting video. I've wanted to make this video for a very long time. I hope you found it interesting. But with that said, hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville Atlantic. Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks. Pin up girls everywhere with the drop dead look. Swing it side to side as we slow dance to the night. When I'll hold your perfect hand and take you out just for a ride. We'll share